What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I've got two awesome things to show you today. One of which is what I eat in a day, because people are just genuinely nosy. Two is probably the most important factor aside calories when it comes to changing your body. Primarily losing body fat is something we massively overlook. Before we jump into that, I need some coffee. Man, I love coffee. I also love bagels. Full disclosure, I'm meant to be showing you what I eat today. I've had a bagel with butter. I will pop the calories up around here and we will add that to today's total. One thing I want to show you today, and I want you to take control of this because it makes a massive difference when it comes to how many calories you can eat a day and ultimately how much fat you can lose as well without restricting food so much. And this is the amount of movement you do in a day. It becomes very easy if I just went, hey, move more. It has no real kind of quantifiable reason why to do that and the difference that it will make to your lifestyle. What I'm talking about is NEAT, non-exercise activated thermogenesis. It's basically movement, but not for the sake of exercise. So that could be walking to work, it could be counting your steps, and that's something we're gonna do today. But before we do any of that, let me show you why you want to be considering this and the value it has for you. So what am I doing here? I'm using a calorie calculator. I know they're not perfect, but for this purpose, it's gonna be grand. I want to show you the power of NEAT, non-exercise activated thermogenesis, basically moving more. I'm gonna put in my credentials: male, 31 years old, 182 centimeters, 82 kilos in weight, describe your physique, lean, athletic, goal, maintaining weight. Now, this is the bit that I'm going to change. I'm going to make up my job and I'm going to make up the amount of activity that I do in a week. So I'm going to put myself as pretty sedentary, which means I do seated work. So maybe I work in a bank or I work at my computer and I do 1 to 3 workouts per week. This is my calories to maintain weight. 2,450. Now what's interesting here is that most people will look at exercise as the way that they create a calorie deficit. They think about diet often second, and they think if I just start going to the gym and moving more, I will burn fat and I will lose weight. Very true, you will, providing you put yourself into a deficit. The problem I see here is that most people in the gym, they go in for an hour, let's say they burn 500 calories. In 2 minutes, you could eat 2 chocolate bars, and when it comes to fat loss, wipe that deficit out. You would still get the benefits of going to the gym, the strength benefits, the cardiovascular, the health benefits, but in terms of fat loss, you wipe them out. But if you were to add 10,000 steps on top of that, look what happens. So if I go into pretty sedentary, same again, workouts 1 to 3 a week, actually let's change it. Let's do somewhat active. Physical job, 10,000 steps a day, but no exercise. So last time we were 2,450, no exercise whatsoever, just 10,000 steps a day, my calories have gone up to 2,638. So they've increased by roughly 200 calories without going to the gym. So that alone is showing you the value of the time span you have in a day to create 10,000 steps. If I now change it one more time, I do 1 to 3 workouts per week, but I also manage to hit 10,000 steps, my calories jump up to 2,827. So it's a massive increase just by being more active. So the next question is, how hard is it to hit 10,000 steps in a day? How long does it take?
Trendsetter, I got style for you. They see you at the top, it's been a while for you.
Okay, little update. It's 11:49. I've sat at my desk all morning. Steps are at 521 of 10,000. Hopefully, this isn't going to be as hard as I think it's going to be. I would have thought normally I'd hit 10,000 easily, but I have been pretty much doing a desk job this morning. I'm a little bit behind on food. I've not eaten much. So I'm going to have one of my prep kitchen meals, which is Kung Pao chicken with egg fried rice and stir-fried sesame greens. 741 calories in this bad boy, 28 grams of fat, 61 carbs, 61 protein, loads of protein in this bad boy, which is great. It means I'm not going to be needing any protein shakes or anything today. I'm going to whack this in. It comes in plastic. I'm going to cook it in a different tub. I'm not a massive fan of cooking in plastic. Let's do it. Give me some new music, Epidemic Sounds. This This is my messy cupboard where I keep all my camera lenses. But I also keep my knockoff stash. I need to tidy this up. Look, there's gimbals, 10 years worth of camera bits, lenses, lights. I was looking for that yesterday, actually. That's where it is. Okay, it's 12:30. I have not taken literally any steps today. I've sat at my computer all morning, so this is probably a worse representation than someone that works in an office, for example, or maybe a bank. I haven't walked to the bus, haven't walked to my car. I've done literally nothing but sit at my desk. Now I'm going to the gym, I'm driving there, but when I start moving at the gym, I know it's a little more active than walking to the bus maybe, but let's see if these steps and how fast they start to increase.
Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop. No. I won't.
Alright, time to get some training done. First off, I need to take care of my hands. My hands are in tatters at the moment, and a lot of gymnastics or calluses, and they're just ripping a lot, so I need to tidy them up. I was given this. It is a blockade. It took me a while to be able to read that. It's actually pretty brilliant. This side's like a slightly smooth kind of, smooth-ish sandpaper, and this side's real rough. And it's better than just using one of the knives, like the callus blades, to cut it off. You just give it a little rub, and it kind of takes all the dead skin off and makes it all smooth again. Because you know, if you've got any bits of skin that's sticking up, or any bits that are thicker, they will tear away from the kind of the good skin whenever you're doing gymnastics and stuff. So quick tidy up of the hands, and I'm hoping we'll get some movement going, and these steps will fly up, fingers crossed. I've got snatches, cleans today, I've got some handstand push-ups as well. I don't know what I've got conditioning wise, but let's get this bad boy on the road. What I will also do today is, because I want this to be applicable to people that have more sedentary jobs and stuff like that, rather than me doing a workout and seeing what steps I get, I'll go for a 5, 10, 15 minute, a short walk that you may be able to fit in your day. It may be a walk to the bus, it may be this, and we can see via my watch how many steps that calculates to, and then we can start to kind of get a rough idea of how long time equates to steps to make it more applicable to yourselves. First working set, blister pop straight away. I like snatch grip deadlifts. They're tough to do, but they're wicked for this reason in particular. One thing I see a lot is people doing cleans and snatches, and they do their pull from the floor and their bum shoots up in the air because they either not got themselves nice and tight, or they unlock their legs too early. Basically, when you're doing your snatch grip deadlifts and your cleans, you want to unlock your legs enough to light up your hamstrings, but also let the bar travel past your legs. Use the lats, keep that bar nice and close, and then once you come above the knees, you'll start to bring your hips in, your back will start to come more vertical. So if you look, your pull from the floor with your snatch grip deadlifts, your clean grip deadlifts, your cleans and your snatches, your back angle should pretty much remain the same for the first portion of the lift, and then start to come up as you start to make hip contact and your explosion over your head if you're snatching. So make sure to film your lifts and keep an eye on whether your bum is coming up too early.
No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. Can somebody save me, I'm losing every battle.
What tends to happen if you unlock the legs too early and your bum rises up in the air is when you make contact with the hips, there's a big gap between the bar and your thighs or your hips. So when you make contact with the bar, it's much more of a punch than a kind of push and a graze. And it tends to send the bar out in front, and the common thing you'll see is if people's bum rise too early, you then see them having to jump forwards to get under their bars. If you're jumping forwards on your lifts, have a look and see if your bum is rising too early.
I won't stop. No. I won't stop. I won't stop. I won't stop. No. I won't stop. Yeah. I'm so handsome. All in Carmine's with my Benz, I'm so fancy. No romancing. Got my baby and she right, she make you vanish. No time to play, got book dates. Had a plan, only had to wait. Always knew I'd make a way. Send a bill, they send a pay. Keep it real, keep the record straight.
What's up guys, I am just back from the gym and I've learnt a lot about steps today from the experiments I've been doing with this watch. And I will say they were experiments, and this is why. So your smartwatches work off a 3 gimbal accelerometer, which means they can see when you're moving, they can see when you're standing still, and they can see how fast you're going. Hence why when I was in the car, it gave me no steps. Throughout my workout, I did not get given very many steps, despite burning a lot of calories, simply because handstand push-ups, I guess they don't replicate walking. The snatches and the cleans I was doing, again, they don't replicate walking. Although I was burning calories, I was not necessarily doing steps. What I found is when I finished my workout at 3 o'clock, this is all lots of threes. When I finished my workout at 3 o'clock, I had 3,000 steps on my watch. I walked to the shop. It literally took me 3 minutes, again another 3. I did 300 steps pretty much on the money. So 100 steps a minute, so 1,000 steps every 10 minutes, which means in an hour and 40 minutes worth of walking a day, you will do 10,000 steps. Now I double checked this. I was like, well maybe if I get on the assault bike and I do a similar kind of movement to walking, it will give me steps. It didn't. I blasted the air bike for a minute or so and my steps stayed exactly the same. I then got off and walked around and my steps kind of jumped up a little bit, but it wasn't very accurate. But when I was walking to the shop, I was surprised. Every step I took, it went up by 1 step every time. So we must take steps as their own thing. We can relate them to calories loosely and we can relate them to calories burnt, but we have to understand that steps is a different measurement to calories. So if I said to you, find an hour and 40 minutes to go for a walk, you're going to be like, John, where am I going to find an hour and 40 minutes? I've got to pick my kids up from school, I want to watch Netflix, I've got other things that are bigger priorities to me. I can't find an hour and 40 minutes to fit in 10,000 steps. But if I said to you, split that out for your day, subconsciously or unknowingly, you'd probably hit that quite easy. If you went out for a walk on your lunch break to get some food, if you walked around the office more to walk to the water fountain, if you took the stairs opposed to taking the lift, it would not take a massive amount to equate up to 10,000 steps. And we know if we use our calorie calculator from online, 10,000 steps gives us roughly a buffer of roughly 500 calories. So if you're just overeating at the moment and you're trying to lose weight and it's not quite happening, but you start moving to 10,000 steps and you weren't moving much before, you've just created a best part of a 500 calorie deficit in your diet. That's going to equate to roughly a pound of fat loss a week. And this is the power in steps. And this is why when people say just move more, it has a lot of weight, but you like, well, obviously, tell me something I don't know. But when you put it into a quantifiable amount of 10,000 steps and roughly 500 calories and an hour and 40 minutes worth of walking a day, it becomes a lot clearer and it's extremely powerful. So we must not neglect NEAT, non-exercise activated thermogenesis.